3, 2, Austin, just write these diagrams. And then 4, useful. And then 5, senior, 0. Of course, that depends on the numbers of senior and junior form student available. In case this one is not 6, or this one is 4, this one is impossible. 所以如果得4個 senior 咁冇可能5個 senior 0個 junior 啦，咁呢啲你應該識諗啦呢一度。咁但係今次唔係啊嘛 ，OK 嘅。Okay, and then exactly 3 senior. Alright, once it asks you exactly 3 senior, exact numbers of senior form students should be 3. That means only 2 junior, only one case. So now when you try to find out the answer, step by step, select senior student 6C3. And then select junior student. Out of 9, select 2. So you can find that the sum of these two numbers must be 5 because in the group there are 5 students. And then find the product of them because step by step you select students. So using calculator, don't say that you don't know how to enter C to your calculator. 唔知就好問啦。Okay? And I'm using the same diagram. Think about it. At least 3 senior students. At least in Chinese that means 最少啦。So that means for the senior form student, at least greater than or equal to, remember. 大個或者等於都包嘅，最少啊嘛。咁記住包埋等於嘅。So that means 3 senior. This case you consider 啦 4, 5. Okay. So now you can use 2 different ways, depends how to do it. This case basically you have found out the answer. You can use the result in part A. Okay. And the second case similar to the previous one, 6C4. Select senior and then junior 9C1. Okay. And then next case should be 6C5, but no junior student. No junior student, you need not show me 9C0. If you want, you can use calculator. It should be 1. 其實 9C0 咧係1嚟嘅，即係你可以撳下機啦，係啦。咁其實真係唔使揀㗎啦，嗰個冇嘢好揀，係啦。好啦，咁但係3個唔同嘅方法都係講緊最少有3個嘅 senior 啊嘛，咁所以呢啲係唔同嘅 cases， 所以我仲有加法啦。就等同於啦，而家我話我有3支黑色筆，2支紅筆俾你揀，我唔係分別喺裏邊揀啊嘛，我而家係話喺呢度啲筆裏邊你揀支，咁你係咪加晒佢啊？咪總共有5個 choices 俾你咯。呢個都係啦，如果我話 at least 3個嘅，咁所以呢啲係不同嘅 cases 啦，加晒就得㗎啦，唔係 step by step 做啊，每一個裏邊就係真係 step by step 做啦。OK， 咁呢個你中意寫你可以寫埋，其實都冇錯嘅呢個。係啦，即係女仔sorry junior 唔使揀啦。So now the answer should be 861. Okay, understand this one. Remember, combination you need not consider what order arrangement. 冇排列嘅，完全冇排列嘅。So yesterday I also asked you to do those questions on your textbook 啦。I also discussed the question first. Okay, on your textbook number 13 and 14. There's 2. Page 42. You can also do the rest of the question. I can upload the solution for you. You can try. Okay. So now there are 4 letters are selected from the words. Totally, you can find that there are 8 letters. Okay, 8 letters. In how many ways can the letter be selected if there are no restriction? So it's very simple AC4 唔使排列㗎，揀啫嘛。AC4. But remember, write down the exact values Page 42 yesterday I marked it. Did I mark it? 我冇 mark 到啊，琴日我咪 mark 咗咩？你琴日仲問我嘅 mark 呢啲 classwork 咯，呢幾題咯，係咯，好似唔係好知要做咁嘅。Okay, and then the letter Q must not be selected. Q 一定唔可以揀嘅。Alright, if Q cannot be selected, that means no letter Q. Alright, but only one letter should be Q So now that means it affects the total numbers of choices Only 7 letters is available. But you still select 4, that means 7C4 所以你仍然都要揀4個 英文字母㗎嘛。Okay, 7C4 啦。And now how about the next one? 4 letter are selected啦, but amongst them, S and T must be included. Or once S and T must be included, that means you must select them. That means you need not consider them. Out of these 8 letters, that means only 6 letters available for you. But since S and T must be in this 4 letters, that means you should select the rest of 2. So in this question, that means 6C2. Okay, 6C2, only 15. Also similar to the question number 5 lah. Okay, particular case or particular item must be included or not included. Number 14 also. 3 typists are chosen from 20 typists 即係嗰啲打字員啦。Okay, how many choices available are there if the fastest one must be included? 最快一教啦，一定要包含在內嘅。咁當然啦，20個裏邊一定有個最快嘅。咁橫掂佢都要包含在內，咁即係剩翻嗰19個，你咪揀咯。要揀多幾多個啊？2啦 ，because the faster one must be included. So this one only 2. You should also think about who should be selected 啦。Last one, the 2 slowest typists are both not include. Not include. So to not include also affect the numbers of choices available for you 啦。最慢嗰兩個一定唔包。Oh, sorry, 19. Thank you. Okay. But the answer just 71. Thank you. And then how about this one? Only 18 choices available for you 啦。But 2 slowest typists are both not included. That means you still select 3. 唔包含啫，咁但係仍然你都要揀3個打字員㗎嘛，咁所以都係要揀㗎啦。3 18C3 869. Alright, one more question immediately. Can you answer 16? 16 similar to one question I discussed on your worksheet. How many diagonals does a convex 12-side polygon have? Alright, what is the meanings of diagonals? That means suppose these are A, B, C, D, the vertices, okay, and then you join the vertex. These ones should be diagonal. That means like the rectangles are A, B, C, D. Alright, now if you would like to find out the numbers of diagonals, only 2. So now when you try to join 2 points, or basically once you select any 2 points, not consider the orders, they will form a straight line. Alright, the straight line can be diagonal, but if I choose these 2 points, this is the side. This is not the diagonal. So if you just say that simply, out of these 4 points, you select any 2. That means these choices also include what are these 4 these 4 sides. So what should you do in these examples? You should subtract these 4 sides. Alright, so that this is the numbers of diagonal. So back to this question. This is the 12-side polygon. That means there are 12 sides, 12條邊嘅。咁但我要知道有幾多條對角線形成。對角線係點形成啊？求其揀2點連埋。不過啦，如果我揀 A 同呢一點連埋，呢個係對角線啦，呢條都係個對角線啦。即係話喺咁多點裏邊揀2點，就好似呢個正方形一樣啦。好啦，咁但係有啲線多咗嘅喎，就係呢啲邊啦。總共有幾多條啊？12條。咁點樣揾diagonals啊？So remember, diagonals must be formed by 2 vertices. Out of 12 vertices, there are 12 vertices because there are 12 sides. You select any 2 vertices. That means same as the question about forming triangles. You select any 3 vertices. Okay? Yes, the previous lesson I've told you. But please remember, this selection also includes the 12 side minus 12 so that you can find out the numbers of diagonals. 54. If you don't know the meanings of the word diagonals, mark it down. 對角線唔包含邊啊，都係由2點組成嘅。Okay, and then I also ask you to do 2 more questions. These 2. last time. So similar to the question number 7 I just discussed with you. So let's get ready check the answer. 23, sorry, 23. All right, 23 A badminton team of 4 players is selected. 4 players. All right, from what? From S4 and S5. So to immediately you should draw the figures. There are 8 S4 and then 5 S5 students at the beginning. All right, now as a whole you should select 4 players from them. In how many ways can the teams be formed if there are no restrictions? If there are no restrictions, that means randomly, out of the total numbers of players, that means total numbers of S4 and S5 players, you select any 4 of them. It means 15C4. Okay, no restriction, 求其揀4個咯，喺13個裏邊 715. Okay, check the answer. And then next one equal numbers of S4 and S5 pairs are required. So now I just mentioned you should try to draw the diagram. Just start from any one should be 0. 0個 S4, that means 4 S5. And then 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4, 0. Is that right? Which case equal number? 2, 2 So now step by step select 2 players from S4, AC2. And I select 2 players from S5, 5C2. That's the end. Okay. 唔難㗎，呢一度記得個方法就可以啦。The last one at least 最少一個係 S4 players. Can you tell me which case should be included? There are 5 cases you see. These 5 cases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But at least one should be S4. One should be S4. Okay, that means these 4 cases 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can use the similar ways to do it, similar to the previous one. But these 4 cases should be the choices available. For example, one should be this. That means this one you have already found 280. But how about the first case? You may say this one should be, okay, I enlarge it 8C1 time 5C3. And then 3S4, 1S5. Last one, you can find that all are S4, but no S5. S5 you need not consider. So to add these 4 cases together, this is the total numbers of teams can be formed. So you add them, this is the answer. But do you have any faster ways to find the answer for this question? If there is no restriction, totally there are 715 teams can be formed. Now when you think about this one you will not consider. So that means the rest of the numbers of teams should be this. Okay, so now how about the first case? The first case should be what all are S5. That means 5C4. So if you use the other ways, that means this one I use the total numbers of outcome without any restriction minus this case. This case should be 5C4. You check whether the answer is it the same as 710. 記住啦，冇限制之下，其實即係呢度所有嘅 cases 嘅組合已經其實包晒㗎啦，得唔得？咁我減走係咪仲快？就唔使諗咁多個 cases 啦，清唔清楚呢度？係啦，咁你可以試下啦，呢個都係710嚟嘅。Okay, so the last question, 25. Similar question S5 members there are 5. And then the others will be S6 there are 6. But what happens the teachers wants to select 4 students from the teams to participate service I find the numbers of ways of selection if there are no restriction. So similar to the previous question. Out of 11 students, the aim is to select 4 students here. So 11C4, the answer should be 11C4, 330. And then the next keywords you should bear in mind are at most 2S5 members. So again, since also 4 students are selected, you should list out all the possible ways. So now you start from 0, S5, 4, 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 0. 4, 0. No more because 4 students are chosen. So now at most 2, at most in Chinese it means 最多都係包埋等於嘅，最多兩個。好啦，如果最多兩個 S5， 咁即係包含邊個 cases 啊 ？2 S5, 1 S5, no S5. These 3 cases 咯。So step by step find out similar to the previous question. So the answer should be first case first no S5, but all are S6, 6C4, and then 1 S5, 5C1, and then select S6, so 6C3. And then last one, 5C2, and then select S6, 6C2. These 3 cases are. Alright, so the answer should be 265. But of course, you can also use what? Using numbers of outcome without restriction minus these 2 cases. These 2 cases, if you stay, they are numbers of ways, so it should be 5C3, 6C1, and then this one 5C4. Maybe you find easy. OK， 減啊，用減法一樣得嘅，係咯。OK， 得啦。The next one， Alright, there must be fewer S5 than S6。即係中五嘅同學一定要少啲嘅，咁你自己睇啦，邊個數係細過 S6 個數，咁咪係咯。相等得唔得？唔得，所以咧淨係得頭兩個 cases。So it's only the first 2. So you try to find them out, okay, and then you add them. So, okay, is it? So you can do it. Or you can use the previous one because for the previous one, or you have considered these 4 cases. You can use the total number minus these 2 cases. Also right, but depends 其實我就唔建議用之前個答案做啦，用翻呢一個。Okay, so because there are only 2 cases, so 6C4, all are S6 student or 1 S5, and then 3 S6. But when the numbers are the same, of course not. And then the last one or at least 1 S5 and then at least 1 S6. That means which cases? Amongst these 5 cases, at least one S5, at least 1 S6. That means out of these 2, you will not consider the rest. So you can add these 3 cases together or using the numbers of outcome without the restriction minus these 2 cases. These 2 cases all are S6 or all are S5. So it's faster ways for you to get the answer. 310. So on this page, almost all the question on this page relates to this one. You can try to finish them more, okay? Practice more. 其實呢啲版咧，差唔多大部分都係呢啲數嚟㗎啦。咁如果你有即係你覺得唔係好熟嘅，你做多少少啦。Alright, so now at the end, I explain the last example. Alright, back to your textbook. The textbook on page 39. Page 39. First of all, you can find out on this page 39. Some wording we may use. You can identify this one is permutation or combination. Remember, permutation, that means consider order. This is the order's arrangement. Even those you have select, you should rearrange them in order. But this one, no order. So if we just use the word select, okay, this one must be just the numbers of combination. How about the other one? If this one, the keywords we use arrange, of course, there's the order. So you can find out the example. Now, in this question, it involves both cases. Alright, so now let's continue. Alright, in a school debate club, alright, there are 12 members, a team of 5, consists of 1 captain, 1 vice captain, and 3 just the team members. 即係話而家喺12個人裏邊咧，咁咧我哋要揀5個人，揀完5個人之後咧做啲咩咧？其中有2個人咧有個 post 嘅，一個咧就會係我當排第一咁樣先算啦，佢係 captain 嚟嘅，主席嚟嘅。好啦，跟住另外一個咧一定係副主席嚟嘅，好似排緊名次咁樣，頭嗰個第一名，我而家有5個人，有一個咧係第一名，一定要排喺第一個位置嘅，第一個 position 嘅。好啦，另外一個同學一定要排喺第二個位置嘅。剩翻嗰3個人有咩特別咧？冇特別嘅，就喺個 group 裏邊咯。好啦，咁如果你明咗呢一樣嘢之後咧，咁我哋其實都要做啲咩咧 ？Step by step 諗下做啲咩啦。Step 1， 我係 out of 12 members 啦 ，we need to select 5 members first. Okay, and then amongst the 5 members, what should you do? You should select any 2 of them as the first position, and then the other one must be the second position. That means they are captain, and then the other one must be vice captain. 即係好似排緊隊咁，其中2個人咧，嗰5個人裏邊咧，跟住我哋要排佢啦，排第1位同第2位，剩翻嗰3個咧都係得5個位置啫嘛，咁佢唔使排㗎，剩翻一個咪就係企喺度咯，就係 members 嚟嘅啫，冇位置可言嘅，所以啲喺裏邊就得㗎啦，明唔明白？好啦，咁所以啦，先要揀人，揀啫嘛，第一個 step 用 C 定 P 啊？係啦 ，C 12個裏邊揀咗5個先 ，12 C 5。And then out of the 5 person, you should place 1 in the first position, and then the other one should be the second position. That means in this case, out of 5 person, you place them in the first 2 position. So next step, you need to arrange them. Arrange 2 of them out of 5. As the position. Position 1, position 2. But the position 1 and 2 just named as captain, vice captain. Understand? How about the rest of the 3 person? 剩翻嗰3個人咧，唔使排，亦都唔需要揀，因為已經揀咗㗎啦，嗰5個人，剩翻唔使理㗎啦，咪唔好理咯。So as a whole, the product of them 啦 ，you can find that this is the answer. This is the answer. Okay? So this is one of the ways to describe it. But you can also interpret it like this. 5 position. The first one must be the captain. Second one must be the vice captain. But you cannot select them repeatedly. 記住唔可以重複揀嘅，呢啲係人嚟㗎嘛，係咪？好啦，我想問，如果我用簡單嘅乘法，第一個有幾多個揀法啊？有幾多個人 available 俾你揀做呢一個嘅 captain 啊？12個咯，因為有12個人啊嘛，啱啱？12個人，咁你都可以講話喺12個裏邊揀一個。其實12C1咧，其實就係12嚟嘅，你撳下機就見㗎，其實都係12嚟嘅。OK， 揀一個啊嘛，12個裏邊。好啦，跟住剩翻幾多個俾你揀一個擺喺呢個位置啊？你揀咗1個做 captain， 咁剩翻梗係得翻11個啦。咁個 choices 咧，即係剩翻11個嘅 choices 俾你啦，就擺喺第2個 position， 好似你之前學嘅 multiplication rule。咁但係其實亦都可以用 C 嘅，即係11個裏邊揀一個，明唔明白？好啦，剩翻嗰3個啦，剩翻有幾多人俾你揀3個啊？剩翻幾多人啊？揀咗2個走㗎咯喎，剩翻10個啊嘛，係咪？嗰10個裏邊使排列㗎？唔使，咁咪10C3咯，要揀3個咯。呢個 step by step 揀，你都其實可以就咁用 C 嘅，係啦，因為其實呢2個咧，當你擺喺呢度嘅時候，呢個一定係12個 choices 嚟，即係用一個簡單嘅 multiplication rules 都做到嘅，係啦，希望大家明呢個做緊啲咩啦。Okay, so that's before the end, we refer to 2 questions on your worksheet. The last 2 questions, so that I will upload all the solutions to share drive. Alright, so the 2 questions will be number 8 and number 9. 8 and 9. No time today again. Sorry. Alright, number 8. So there are 20 officers in a group. Find the numbers of different project teams can be formed. Finally 6 members are selected to form the project team. Consists of 1 should be leader, the other 5 just are members. So can you tell me how do you select? 係啦，20C1 啊，20C1先 ，OK， 跟住咧19，剩翻19個，跟住 C2，咁你睇下啱唔啱啦？你撳下機。幾多嚟㗎？你揾到？係啊，啱，係咪呢個？係啦，咁呢個其中一個方法啦。咁如果我唔用普通呢一個方法，我用話我先揀咗6個人出嚟先。好啦，我可以揀咗6個人出嚟先㗎嘛。好啦，喺嗰6個人裏邊咧，其中一個咧就係第一個位置就係 leader 嚟嘅。咁咧一個位置咧。咁咧其實冇排列可言㗎啦，不過咧嗰6個裏邊有1個就會擺喺第一個位置啦。但如果有2個就真係有唔同㗎啦，可能調轉個角色嘅，得唔得？咁所以我哋用 P 嘅，跟住最後嗰5個人點啊？唔使排啦，因為佢哋都係 members 嚟啫嘛，咁所以冇㗎啦。我想問咁樣揾法一唔一樣咧？你撳下機，即係用緊呢個20先揀6個人出嚟先，再其中一個咧係。個 sorry 呢個sorry 呢個 B 嚟㗎，係啦，呢個 B 嚟嘅，即係總言之咁樣啱唔啱啊？答案一唔一樣？一樣嘅，係啦，一樣嘅。好啦，咁如果你明咗呢個咧 ，B part 就容易啲做啦。好啦，但係而家咧嗰6個人咧，一個係 project leader， 另外一個係 manager， 有身份嘅，有位置即係有 position 嘅，但係剩翻4個係冇嘅，咁點做啊？點做啊？如果用呢個方法，啱啱諗完呢個方法啦 ，that means 20C6 and then you should select out of these 6 啦 ，you select any 2 as what? As the project leader or project managers. Okay, so now how about finally the rest of the 4 person just a member, just members. So now you can find out the answer. Okay, but if I use the simple C to do it, what is the answer?用翻乘法啦，即係我其實好似有4個，而家即係有6個位置。呢2個人咧好特別嘅，一個係 leader 嚟嘅，一個咧係個 managers 嚟嘅。好啦，如果我用普通嘅乘法去做啦，第一個 leader 有幾多個 choices 啊？20 C1 啦。第二個咧，剩翻幾多人俾你揀擺落第二個位置啊？19啦，係啦，19C1 乘嘅，剩翻嗰扎人咁又點咧？你都要揀幾個人擺喺度㗎，做 member 㗎，剩翻嗰幾個人有幾多個俾你揀啊？18，再揀埋呢4個，冇位置可言嘅，冇位置可言嘅，咁你可以咁樣做咯，係啦，呢個就係另外一個方法啦。So final answer should be copy the answer carefully 啦 ，don't make the mistakes。Understand or not this one？ 明唔明啊？其實 C 同 P 唔難分嘅，係啦，所以就好啦。最後一題 ，the end，the last question。Sorry。I will upload the solutions to Google so that you can refer 啦。So this question just before the end. There are 13 Cantonese songs and 9 English songs in computers啦。I find the numbers of weight at the end. Just select 6 songs to the playlist 啦。If there are no restriction， 冇任何限制嘅，隨意揀六首歌嘅啫。咁點做？而家總共有幾多首歌啊？22啦，係啦，咁即係隨意揀，冇人話要排列㗎，純粹就係22 C6咯。This is one part one. Alright, but the second one you must select the 6th song. Either all of them are Cantonese or all of them are English. That means there are two cases. Two cases. 嗱，我唔知你開咗 iPad 嚟做咩啊 ，Christy。5C Christy. Next lesson, I will collect your worksheet and have a look up. So now, that means either all are Chinese law, Cantonese law. Cantonese, that means out of 13 Cantonese, you select 6. All 6 songs are Cantonese law, or all are English, that means 9C6. But either all are Cantonese or all are English, that's why you should add them up. 唔會有6首廣東歌，有6首英文歌㗎嘛？你最終都係得6首㗎啫嘛。咁所以咧，總共有咁多個方法去揀，一係6首中文啦，一係6首就係英文啦。Okay, so this is the answer. But how about the second part? Be careful 啦 ，this one. Alright, if 4 Cantonese songs and 2 English songs finally should be chosen. Okay, should be chosen. And then add to the playlist wall. So I would like you to tell me the numbers of ways to select the song. So this one just a simple selection. Alright, now I put the answer here B because I would like to refer to the question. So now you can see out of 13 Cantonese songs, select 4. And now select English. So that's 9C2. You can find out finally there are 6 songs in the playlist. So you find out the product of them. I think not difficult for you to find it. But the second part, you must be careful. The numbers of ways to place the song in the playlist such that the requirement 2 English songs are played before Cantonese. So that means like queue up 2 English at the beginning and then 4 should be Chinese. 好似排隊咁啊！你當排隊得㗎啦。總言之咧，2首英文歌一定要係播放嘅就係喺中文歌之前，就唔會好似排隊咁樣咯。咁即係咩意思啊？你望下而家個圖，即係英文歌好似一定要排喺左邊，我當左邊係第一，右邊係最尾㗎啦。即係英文歌一定係淨係左邊嘅啫，唔可以交換嘅。咁所以點排啊？揀完出嚟再排㗎嘛，你咪 step by step 諗下啦。我而家揀啲歌出嚟啦。好啦，先揀 Cantonese 揀咗啦喎。我 sorry 揀英文先啦，唔好意思，因為英文擺左邊。好啦，我當揀英文先啦，9C2。跟住點啊？排喺左邊，得2首啫嘛。你揀完出嚟咪排佢哋咯。好啦，之後再做啲咩啊？之後再做啲咩？揀中文歌啦。中文歌咧就有13首，揀4首。再排呢4首喺右邊，自己排嘅啫，因為你揀完出嚟排啊嘛。好啦，咁我就想問啦，其實揀完出嚟排，同我之前學嘅 P 有冇分別喺度？望下呢度，同呢一個9P2相唔相同咧？我揀完出嚟都係要排佢哋㗎咯，其實係冇分別㗎，即係咁嘅寫法同你揀完之後再排佢哋係冇分別嘅，得唔得？好啦。咁但係我又想問一樣嘢，嗱而家其實呢個就等同於呢一個啦。Sorry， 呢個係 P 嚟嘅，兩個一樣㗎，呢個寫法。但我想你了解一下，如果我話揀完中文歌有4首，英文歌有2首，我任排佢哋，咁你點樣揾啊？任你點排都好啦，唔一定英文歌先嘅。任排點樣播都得嘅，咁請問有幾多個播放方法啊？點揾啊？嗱，我再問你，我問一次啊 ，play randomly，play the 6th song randomly。Find out the numbers of ways to place the song。任排，咁你都係揀㗎。你諗下你自己會做啲咩？哦，揀完英文歌，揀中文歌。跟住我咪要排佢哋啊！有幾多個排列方法啊？ 有幾多首歌要排啊？6首歌，咁6首歌喺齊到㗎咯喎，咪6個 factorial。任排啊嘛，我都冇限制。但係而家呢個限制係咩啊？一定係要英文歌先，咁所以我揀完出嚟即刻排英文歌喺左邊 2 factorial， 得唔得？好啦，跟住揀中文歌，跟住排右手邊，得唔得？你當左邊係開始，右邊係結尾，唔需要調轉，得唔得？唔需要調轉。咁所以咧，呢個講法咧就係講緊限制咗英文播先，中文播後。而呢個係講緊任你點播都得，總言之我要揀2首英文，4首中文，就係咁樣啦。任你點播都得，注意播呢6首，清唔清楚？即係其實同你自己演算你點樣揀歌跟住排列一樣㗎咋，冇分別嘅。I thought that's the end of this part. So today I would like you to do the question on your textbook. The textbook. So on Monday, I'll submit your worksheet. During the lesson, I have a look at your worksheet. So to make sure you have all the answers of the worksheet. So exercise 10C. Okay, I would like you to do the last few questions. 30, 31, 32. Besides, try to do the MC question of chapter 10. And then next week, I will mark the homework for you. Okay, MC on your textbook. So then get ready. The last chapter you are going to study should be chapter 11, probability 機會率，同呢課有關嘅。Okay, next lesson I will continue. Sorry, no time for me to give you back the piece of paper. Okay. Okay.